Hi there, Facebook land and LinkedIn land and YouTube world. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim.
We're from A Teague of Your Own, and welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woohoo! Yay! It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I woke up this morning, the sun was shining, the birds are singing, the sky is blue. It is a gorgeous day. And for those of you, it's Mardi Gras time. Mardi Gras happening down in New Orleans, down in a few other areas of the world. It is a fun couple days right now. But it is.
Not in Western Pennsylvania.
No, not in Western Pennsylvania. No, it is a very cold time right now in Western Pennsylvania.
It's a little chilly.
Yeah. Joining us today, we have a wonderful guest today. Dr. Amba Dryg-Tobin, who I know from a couple different places. She is in Polka Dot Powerhouse with me. I want to say you and Katerina Rando and I have done some stuff together. So it's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Amba.
Thank you for having me.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am a Swedish, German, French mother on one side and a Bolivian father on the other side. So people always say, you look Italian or you look Persian. And so there you go. I'm Bolivian and Swedish. I was born in Iowa. I moved to Europe when I was 18, singing jazz for 9 years in Europe. Then came back to the Midwest in Minneapolis and then lived in San Francisco area for 30 some years and learned about medical Qigong therapy and got my doctorate in that, and also psychology, holistic health, everything to do with wellness and how we can train our brain to heal our body with meditation, movement, breath.
Awesome. Wow. San Francisco, 30 years in San Francisco. That's a long time. Actually, for us, we're sitting here trying to think, and I don't think I've ever lived anywhere for 30 years.
No. It's the Bay Area. So San Francisco in the Mission District for about 20 years, 5 years in Monterey, Carmel area, Pacific Grove, and then like 4 years north of San Francisco in Sonoma County, the wine country.
Beautiful. Yeah, we lived before we moved to the house that we're in now, and actually 2 houses before then, because we had that temp house. We lived in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, which is not that far from here. I mean, it's just up the road from us. And we lived there for about 13 years.
Something like that, yeah.
That's the longest.
People who don't know Pennsylvania at all, is that closer to Philadelphia or closer to Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh. And that's the longest either one of us has ever lived anywhere. Was 13 years. So when we hear about people living someplace for many, many years, that always amazes me.
Yeah, it seems amazing.
Well, I think about it as an area because I was never moving is a hobby of mine. So moving, because then I can feng shui a whole new house and get to know new people. And everywhere I go, like I went last year in August to visit polka dots around you. I came to Pittsburgh. I even sent some people to your meeting when you first started. And I went over to Delaware, got to see some dots there, went to Connecticut, went to Rhode Island, went to Massachusetts. So I hit like 8 different polka dot groups. Yeah. And I love every place I went. I could live in every single place I went. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful here. Yes. Oh, the people are so nice, and polka dots, having all these little networks of new friends.
Yep. It's an awesome, ladies, if you're out there and you're looking for a group of women that you want to build connections with and relationships with, Polka Dot Powerhouse is the place to go. They are very genuine. They are authentic people, and it's not just about doing business. It's about actually connecting and building up relationships. So I highly recommend it. Dr. Amba, you were just telling us moving is a hobby of yours, and you're practicing your hobby right now. You just moved. Tell us a little bit about this move.
This move was from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin to Hartford, Wisconsin.
Mhm.
6 months we were in Fond du Lac, so we came from California, and my husband works close to Hartford, and we thought, well, the commute's a little bit long, and we only actually moved to Wisconsin because he had a really good friend here he hadn't seen in a while, and I work online, and he wasn't working at the time, so we found a 1 month to month place and said, well, let's see if you can find work here, and I can be anywhere. And then fell in love with Wisconsin, and I joined the Milwaukee chapter with Valerie Dussing, who
I love her.
I fell in love with. She's hilarious. It's funny because I thought I would join the Madison chapter, because when we started doing Zoom remote meetings, I
Mhm.
kept going to their chapter because there's a lot of people kind of like-minded with holistic health in that group. And there's a few in this group too. So I'm really happy that I'm kind of now between, it's like I'm in Madison or in Hartford, and then Madison and Milwaukee are kind of the same distance.
Mhm. Awesome. Moving is something you and I.
Oh man, done it so many times. I grew up military.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't even count the number of moves.
Yeah.
I know, towards the end of my father's time in the military, our stuff knew when it was time to go, and it just started jumping into boxes for us. We didn't have to worry about it too much, and we got it down to a science.
Yeah.
And then before I got married to you, I always kept myself very mobile.
Yeah.
I only bought what I needed. I didn't have a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
And that made it very easy to move. And I've always been kind of like that. I'm more interested in experiences than things.
Yeah.
And so moving, I don't know, these last moves, that move out of our big house, that one was tough.
That was hard. One of the advantages of always moving it, and I used the longest before we moved to Latrobe, the longest I had ever lived in one home was, I want to say, 5 years. So one of the advantages of moving all the time is you downsize a lot of your stuff. You don't end up collecting a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one of the advantages. So it's very easy to move.
Yeah. I was just going to say, my landlord said from this new place, because we may end up buying a house here by Pike Lake. It's so beautiful here, but just trying to figure out where we want to be. But my landlord said, I told him I'm going to go to California and load up a car and bring stuff. And he's like, why don't you just buy new stuff? And I'm like, it's books.
Yeah.
Books and notes, because I don't take notes on a computer. I'm a handwritten notes person, and I just have books and books and books of notes from my professors, my teachers, my spiritual teachers. It all gets meshed into what I teach and what I practice with the holistic healing. So everything to me is sacred. It's oh no, I'm going for my books.
Yes. And I get that. We got a ton of books. One of the things I did this year was I got a Remarkable, because I'm like you. I like to handwrite everything, and I got a Remarkable so that now I can put the notes in there as opposed to on paper.
So the big thing with my work is yellow paper and wooden pencil. So when you write on yellow paper, it relates to the spleen and the earth element, and when you use a wooden pencil, it relates to the liver and the wood element. So it's a huge part of the work is actually using paper. So that's not handy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to talk about, I want to talk about stress. When it comes to moving, that can be very stressful for people. And it doesn't matter if it's just down the block or if it's across country. For both of us, we've moved from one country to another.
Yes, many times.
From Europe to the United States, back, stuff like that. So it can be stressful. in Western medicine, a lot of times you'll go see a doctor and your blood pressure's up, and you've got heart palpitations, and you're gaining weight or you're losing weight, and you've got all these symptoms, and they'll just want to put you on some type of drug to help with the stress. Yeah,
right. That has a myriad of different side effects that cause
exactly
on your body.
Exactly.
It's trying to maintain homeostasis, maintain it.
No,
so yeah, I totally hear you with stress and high blood pressure too. So we have a really easy thing you can do for high blood pressure. And I've got several clients that have gone off their medication after they talk to their doctor. I always say, talk to your doctor first. I'm not recommending you go off it. Talk to your Western doctor first, but it's so simple. And I use it for different things. Only thing is contraindication if you have low blood pressure is a simple inhale and relax your face and jaw and shoulders as you say, H-A-A-A. So the sound is for the heart. It's for anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met, and to some extent, despair and depression. But that lowering the blood pressure is because we tense all of our body naturally. But just relaxing and consciously saying, and even silently, you can do, like, you're around people, you don't want to like look like a crunchy person if you're not crunchy. Silently. And you if you do it over and over for 5 minutes every day, a few times a day, your blood pressure goes down. And it helps in a minute if you're like getting cut off with somebody and you're like tightening up. I can be relaxed. Because if you're relaxed, your parasympathetic system, because stress is usually with the fight or flight. Well, the other side of that is the rest and digest, or the relaxation part. So if we can relax, everything can heal itself in the body. But most of the time, people are at some level of stress. And moving, like you said, is stressful for a lot of people. It was not stressful for me, other than I helped the movers. Because I'm like, I'm a bodybuilder, I can help. And then like I got really sore. But today I'm like wet hair. I went to the gym and lifted weights and I'm like, I don't feel it. I did my Qigong stuff and I don't feel it now. But definitely stress can live in our physical tissues. I'm teaching a 12-week program with Fran Lambert, another doc from the Hanover chapter. And 1 week we focused on stress because it causes inflammation. And if you have an inflammatory disease like cancer, or you have like an injury, well, an injury is different. You want some inflammation. But if you're getting sore from lifting weights or whatever, that's maybe building muscle, that's good. But stress that's, uncomfortable emotions, it can add to inflammation. It can add to the heart having problems or any kind of health problems because the body can't maintain homeostasis. It doesn't know you're not running from a tiger.
Right.
It just feels stress. And so the adrenals send out cortisol, which actually adds to fat, which you don't want.
Right.
So all day long if you're trying to lose weight.
Perfect.
Okay.
And like you said, this is something you can do in your car. So when you're stuck in traffic, if you're here in Pittsburgh and you're trying to get through the Squirrel Hill Tunnel and you're like, this is something you can do to help relieve that stress.
Yeah. Only contraindication, like I said, if you have doctors diagnosed low blood pressure, you wouldn't want to do it for 5 minutes straight, maybe 20, 30 seconds. But it only takes 3 or 4 to de-escalate and just loosen your body, because we want to be loose and relaxed. And I tell Katarina all the time, loosey goosey, loose, loose noodle.
Exactly. Tell us a little bit more about, it's Qigong, correct?
Qigong. Yeah, like Tai Chi. Qigong.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about it. Where does it come from and what is the focus?
So there's 3 different kinds of Qigong, and it is 5,000 years old. It's before acupuncture. It's the basis of traditional Chinese medicine. There's the martial arts aspect, the Neigong. Then there's the spiritual aspect, which is a connection to whoever's higher power, however you want to call it. And then the physical. So if you're doing exercises in a class and it's general health. There's that kind of Qigong. And then there's medical Qigong therapy, what I practice, which I have a doctorate in from Dr. Jerry Ellen Johnson. And this is really, they call it Chinese energetic medicine, kind of like Reiki, but in a different way, because we have very specific protocols for specific different diseases and illnesses and mental health issues. And when somebody works with me, and I work with groups as well, we talk about what the emotional things are going on. Because like I said before, especially suppressed emotions or suppressed stressors, they show up in the physical tissues. So there is a high correlation with emotions. So anger, frustration, impatience, that's liver. Sadness and grief, shame or guilt, that's lungs. And all these different things related to the organs that if we don't express in a healthy way. So for example, men in America tend to get a lot more lung cancer than women. Women can get breast cancer sometimes because they're not expressing their anger in a healthy way. Rather, they're like, oh, I don't want to be a BICTH. So they're going to like suppress their anger. And that creates something called insubstantial phlegm, which rises up and, can cause breast cancer. And men will tend to get lung cancer because men don't express sadness and grief. Some men. And so that, all these different correlations with the emotions and our physical tissues, diabetes, heart disease, all these different things, PTSD, all these different mental health things too, can be helped with different guided meditations. So it's not meditation like be still, don't think. No, it's maybe be still and focus on a kind of breathing, or maybe making a sound like ha or guo or shong, or moving with intention and breathing. So those are prescription homework exercises I give to people, as well as journaling, as well as writing letters to people who've crossed our boundaries, all these different things that I send people home with for homework. And the part of the medical Qigong that I practice, they lie down and I do the general treatment protocol or specific protocols to what somebody has.
Awesome. And 5,000 years, that's a long time.
It is a long time.
What are some of the things that you were just talking about? You're saying a lot of times you will prescribe the exercises themselves, but also writing. Talk to us a little bit about how writing can help people.
Well, definitely different psychiatric people, therapists, whatever, will have people do that. The way that we do it with homework, it's always yellow paper. So legal pad is perfect, and wooden pencil, because we say the earth element and the wood element, we live on earth. and wood, like trees, kind of reach up to the divine. So we are the connection between earth and heavens in a way. So putting the intention, so my work is always intention, attention, imagination, sensation, putting them together for conscious Qigong, really being conscious of what they're doing when they're writing, intentionally saying, okay, I'm working on forgiveness with this person. I'm working on letting go of this resentment maybe that I have for someone, or just writing what I do, a manifestation class, writing in past tense what you want to bring into your life as, manifesting, which is a whole nother thing. Yet when I work privately with clients too, or groups, I have them do what they want to heal from or let go of or whatever as well, but it's intentional. So this, whatever they're writing, they're taking it as a sacred thing, because even the uncomfortable emotions are a part of us. A lot of people are like, oh, let's think positive. Let's raise our vibration, which I'm all for, but you have to honor, I believe you have to honor the uncomfortable emotions because they are part of us. So writing about those uncomfortable emotions, because sometimes writing will bring out things that maybe you're not aware of. So that's a huge part of it too, with the work I do.
Do you do anything with Mary Knipple?
I actually just recently became a member of her, we're Diamond Dots, and we're in the same mastermind. And she actually helped me. I'm in Doris Birch's next anthology, and she helped me with little things on my writing. So that, in that sense, yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Mary Knipple is your writing mentor. She will help you with writing, and she puts together books also. In fact, right now she's in the middle of putting together a book where she's getting together women, and all they have to do is write 50 words.
Yeah.
Literally just a short paragraph of wisdom that they've gained over the years. But when you start talking about that, I was thinking that's exactly what Mary does. Is she has you walk through a lot of the emotions that you're working through, and she has you just start writing. She'll give you writing prompts and just start writing, and it helps work things out. And so much will come once you start writing. You'll remember stuff that's happened, and you'll get it all out. And sometimes that's what you need to do. It's therapeutic.
It's very therapeutic, yeah. And it can be beautiful too. I mean, sometimes people write and like all these beautiful things, especially as you, like my motto is every challenge is a gift to grow and evolve. So the hard things, even cancer, is a gift. Like we have something valuable to learn from it, or we wouldn't get it. And these the writing part can really help you get to the other side of going, what was the valuable lesson, and helping other people then when they read it go, oh, that is a lesson, that is a gift. Or just something like, aha, I didn't think of that, and I had a very similar situation. And just bringing community together, because once we realize we're not alone, it's very amazing how we're all connected. We all have something similar that we can share and help and support people together.
Definitely. Well, it has been wonderful having you on here today, Dr. Amba. If somebody wanted to get in contact with you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
I have a website. It's Sit Wellness, like sit and meditate, sitwellness.com. And I have everything there from classes, and I do three-day retreats that people can come to or come virtually. So I highly recommend those. It's all about self-care, self-love for optimal health. And dots are a part of that. Sue Bennett, Dorothy Knaus, Jackie Metzger is going to do a sound bath, and Lisa Condon and Joanne French. So they're all in this first retreat in March 18, 19, 20th.
And that's down in Delaware, if I remember right, correct?
It's in Bethany Beach. It's actually Sue Bennett's beach house. And so there's a few more spaces in person, and then there's about 80 spaces for live, online, virtual retreat. So people can join in. Mostly it's about fun and getting to know each other and playing games, and then little bits of, teaching. I hate, no offense, but whoever does the retreats that are full of information, but I like a retreat that is fun and I don't have to do very much. I want to relax. I want to go explore the beach. We're going to go to a llama farm.
Fun.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Yeah. All right. Well, great. It's sitwellness.com, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Great. So if you want to get in contact with Dr. Amba, go to her website, sitwellness.com. Reach out to her. She is a joy to work with and so knowledgeable, and I know she can help you if you're willing to be open-minded about the approach and try something different that others have used and it works for them. Reach out to her, find out, she is an excellent resource for you, was more than willing to and happy to work with you. So thank you once again, Dr. Amba, for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll be back next week. We're actually in Orlando.
That is correct.
On Monday.
Yes.
So we'll be there for the John Maxwell IMC for the John Maxwell Team International Certification Training, fun stuff. Yeah.
International Maxwell Certification.
That's it. And it's fun. So we'll be coming to you from Orlando next week.
So it'll be warmer.
We will be warmer.
Yes.
We won't have.
Out.
Yeah, we'll have short sleeves on.
I'm on spring break, so
yeah, it'll be fun.
Yes.
And the week after that, I need to look and see because I think we have a guest the week after that.
Okay.
So if you need to get in contact with us, feel free to reach out to us here on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can go to our website, ateagueofyourown.com. Give us a call, send us an email. We are more than willing to help you grow from where you are to where you want to be. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye, everyone.